It's former Pro Bowl defensive back DeAngelo Hall and Fox College football analyst Reggie Bush. Marcellus, I'll start with you. You concerned that Kyler doesn't want to be the face of an NFL franchise?
Slightly.
Legitimate concern.
Slightly. Not as concerned as you sound. A lot of people are sounding. Oh, by the way, your boy's a dirty Mac. That ain't, you don't get down like that, brother. Too close for comfort. Kyler Murray, look, I will say this. They beat you up in the measurables throughout this draft process, and when they run out of that steam, they start to beat you up in the immeasurables. So at first it was his size. Oh, where's the tape measure? Where's the tape? Right. Damn it. He's not 5'9", he's 5'10". Okay, let's switch it. Switch lanes. Now we got to attack him in other ways.
Yep.
Dan Patrick's interview. You know, everyone saw that, and he's looking off camera to his father. No person in sports history has ever had the two industries of baseball and football weighing on him like he did in that moment. So I kind of gave him a pass with that. 21 of 22 prospects invited to a charity event, and you're the one that doesn't show up? Doesn't sound good, but even in that, he has cover. He landed in the city after the event. Now, I understand what you're saying. Who's doing your itinerary? But I also know at least he's not running through Nashville on Broadway Street talking about what it do. And then they've got a charity event. So some flags up. I don't want to say bright red, but certainly a little slight concern. What's going on with your responsibilities?
Well, I mean, when you look at Kyler Murray, the player, the athlete, right, like you just alluded to, he had the option to play two sports, right? On top of that, he won a Heisman Trophy, so everybody is trying to pull this man in different directions. You just said he landed later than the event happened. I'm glad you said that because I didn't know that information before you just said it right now because I also was wondering what was the thing that caused him to miss it. But I don't think that somehow says that he doesn't want to be the face of a franchise because in that Nike commercial that we just watched, he said he wants to be the greatest to ever play the game.
You've got a lot of commercials, Reggie.
I understand.
Yes, you have.
But it would be hard for me to believe.
Words in your mouth.
It would be hard for me to believe that somebody can make me say that without me actually believing it about myself, right? You can never tell. So you can never.
How much money he got on the line right now?
You can never write a script for me and tell me
that check didn't help.
You can't say that I want to be the greatest to ever play the game without me actually believing in that. Like, there's got to be some truth to that.
I think they can map it onto you. Reggie, you coming out of college, yeah, you can say that because we're like, damn it, the best
I wanted to be the greatest player ever.
Right, but maybe they're mapping it onto him more so that he really feels that authentically.
But can we say this? The same way in which we're saying Kyler's still learning how to be a quarterback. He's learning the kind of pressures that are bestowed upon being the face of an organization. Like, I'm sure he sat back watching Baker Mayfield get all these accolades, all this attention. And Baker's a personality in itself, right?
Yeah.
And so even when Kyler was doing his interviews post-game, you never once saw, like, the energy that you saw in Baker. And so for me, he is a baseball player, trained to be a baseball player. He happens to be a great football player, and he's picking football, but he's still learning. So the same way we're going to say he's learning how to read defenses and he'll continue to get better because now he's devoting all of his time. He's learning how much attention quarterbacks are, or how many directions, I should say, they're being pulled in. And it's definitely different from baseball. He can sit out there in that outfield and be kind of on his island and make plays when he needs to, go high five when he wants to in the dugout. On the football field, it's not like that. It's all day, every day. You're around your buddy. You're with him. You're kind of tied to a string. And so I just tend to think he's learning kind of how to be a really good football player as well.
That leads to does he have the right personality to be a quarterback? That's not a terrible insult.
You're right. You're right.
He could be a great guy, but he may be meant to be a wide receiver or a center fielder or a shortstop.
The big misconception is, and Reggie, you know this, you played with a lot of really good players, offensive players. I'm just saying offensive guys, and Reggie's been in that huddle. Everyone always wants the quarterback to be the guy. But in every room, in every team, the quarterback is not the guy. I've been a part of teams where the quarterback deferred to the defensive captain or the receiver or the running back.
Were those teams any good?
You're up here with the ring list, damn it.
Well, Reggie got one.
Reggie got one. He played with Drew Brees.
What I would say, though.
You played with Phillip Rivers, right?
I mean, I called him when they were. No, I ain't played with Phillip. Young Drew. Okay, baby Drew.
He played. But what I would say, though, is that when you talk, because none of us know Kyler Murray personally, right? And so when you listen to the people who do know him personally, his head coach, his teammates, They all say he is a great leader. They all say he loves winning.
I don't think they
His
say
head
that.
coach?
No.
His
The
head coach
all, yeah, the all
his
is
head
a little.
coach-
No.
They
he
got.
said he's got something to learn. He's got a different energy than Baker. He politely.
Did he say he was not a leader? He said he's a leader.
No, he didn't. But he didn't give him the full-throated endorsement of a great leader. He's not going to throw the kid under a
Little
bus.
tepid.
It was just there was a little energy missing. And again, Kyler Murray's not a bad kid. But him and his dad, Reggie, when you really understand it, they have worked one-on-one together more so than him with teammates, than with other coaches. He's his father's boy more than he is a great quarterback leader.
Okay, I spoke to Matt Leinart. Yep. Got a chance to interview him because we went through this whole thing when I was at NFL Network. And we were talking about all this stuff about Kyler Murray's not a leader. What's the name of the GM came out and said
Charlie Casserly.
Charlie Casserly said had a lot of negative stuff to say about him. So I went to people who knew him, and they all said sing a different tune. It wasn't what Casserly and other people were pushing out there about him, because when you turn on the film, you see he makes the people around him better. You see he loves to win, and he plays every play with extreme passion, and that's really all you can ask for. Does he have everything that you need right? No, he's not a professional. He's a rookie. So like you said, he is still learning.
I was saying that when you say his dad was kind of his one-on-one guy that they worked with, when you're young, I never had a father in the house growing up, but I would imagine the way I am with my son's 17, I'm still his, like, your coach say that? You do what I say. I played in the league. Son, I know what I'm talking about. But I say all that to say, at some point, Kyler will grow up. He will continue to, he will seek out his father's advice, but I would think he gets more qualified guys around him, because now meaning Kyler Murray, I'm the product, right? I got to make sure I get the right people around me, whether that's a different quarterback coach, whether that's a guy with his footwork, with his speed, with his flexibility. And so I know he was relying on his father for a lot of this, but part of that is because that's his dad. And as he continues to grow up and become a player and a professional athlete, I would tend to think he seeks that professional advice.
Yeah, and let's not fool ourselves in thinking that you have to be a fully formed leader to succeed in the NFL. First of all, Kyler Murray won't be as aloof as one Eli Manning is as a leader. Kyler Murray won't be, as some say, backstabbing as Big Ben as a leader with his issues, right? Kyler Murray won't be caught on camera running from the police like Baker Mayfield as a leader. Kyler Murray won't be as arrogant as Aaron Rodgers was as a leader.
I'm not sure about that one.
Well,
Go ahead. The other ones are great.
It might be quiet arrogance. It might be silent confidence, but it won't be loud arrogance, as he has a baseball mentality. That said, when we try to dig into responsibility, let's use the actions of this man against him rather than the words of others.
Yeah.
When you're in college and someone gave you millions of dollars to play a sport and you said, I'm not leaving, I raised my hand to do what Baker Mayfield did, and I want to do it even better and lead this Oklahoma team into national contention, that's responsibility. Like, he had an option in the moment and tapped on that and said, let me go after what I deserve, what I have a passion for. That Nike commercial rings true to me because he had options, but he used his power and his greatest ability of all, choice. He chose football. That's responsible.
I think his father has done a masterful job of putting him in a great leverage position with both sports. And so I think they've been playing a great poker game. And now it's time for Kyler to ante up. And I don't – we had the kid on from Last Chance U, the quarterback from Last Chance U, if y'all ever see that Netflix documentary. It was a light-skinned black kid. I can't call his name right now, but Malik Henry, 5-star recruit, went to Florida State first, then ends up at Last Chance U. And I watched all that documentary, and then we had him here on set, Marcellus, and the kid's a baseball player, and his dad wants him to play quarterback.
That's real.
And I could see that was Malik Henry's problem. And again, not that
Malik
Kyler
Henry
has
had an attitude.
He had a
and marijuana problem, and just he had other issues. But I think at the end of the day, a lot of it was driven like he'd rather play baseball. Everybody's personality isn't fit for all these positions, and where football has gone and where the quarterback position has gone. It's such a burden. You're like a mayor of a city.
It is.
It's completely different now. And if this kid's personality doesn't perfectly fit it, that's not a knock on him.
Right.
That's more like Is this the right? And that's why I think there's questions. We're hours before the draft, and we're not sure he's.
Malik played young Pop Warner at my park, so that ain't Kyler Murray. In the most positive ways, they a little different.
We've seen some